I'm going to give you a 3-phase process that will shift you into the timeline of your desired reality, aka quantum jumping, aka shifting away from unwanted circumstances. 100% of the time, it works every time. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea, and on this channel we talk about energy, consciousness, manifestation, and all of that esoteric goodness. So how does this work? How to shift into your desired timeline? Why would you want to do this? So this is a great process for anybody who feels like they want to change multiple big things in their life. So you want to change your job, your relationship status, your location. You want to change multiple big things at once. It can also be good if you just want to change one large portion of your life, because shifting timelines is a very large manifestation. You're going to see the entire timeline of your life change. So if you want to see large scale changes in a facet of your life, this is the place to be. This is the process to do. Couple of disclaimers before I get into the actual content of the process. Disclaimer number 1, this is an advanced manifestation technique. What does that mean? Does that mean that if you are a beginner, you can't do this technique? No, absolutely not. Beginners can crush this technique. What it means is that I'm going to be giving you a lot of information about manifestation and the universe at large in a very short amount of time, so it could be overwhelming if you're just starting out on your manifestation journey. That being said, you can definitely still see huge shifts in your life using this process as a beginning manifester. Disclaimer number 2, this process has the ability to create large shifts in your personal life as well as society at large. When you do this process, you may notice shifts that affect reality outside of you on a larger scale that lead you to your desired timeline. Your life will be changed, and the way that you perceive of reality will be altered. You will begin to understand that reality is a construct, and you might realize that the reality around you is not as fixed as you were led to believe, and that perhaps it is all a simulation that is being projected from within you. Okay, so now that I got all of that, disclaimers, warnings out of the way, let's get into how to do the process. Alright, so if we want to understand how this process works, we're going to need to understand the multiverse. Ooh, multiverse, creepy, spooky. So the multiverse is a very complicated subject matter. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to give you a quick, dirty overview of high-level multiverse, how it works. Here we go. Essentially, you exist here as your higher self. Up here, chillin'. You decide one day that you want to project a portion of your energy stream down into 3D reality so that you can experience the excitement of planet Earth. And now you exist here in 2 points of perspectives. Your higher self perspective, and now as your higher self, you exist in a second perspective, your human perspective. In the human perspective, where we all are right now, at least most of us, at least I think everyone who's watching this video is a human. So in a human perspective where we are now, we perceive of one singular timeline. However, this is not the reality from the perspective of your higher self. Your higher self perceives of an infinite number of timelines. It's actually not truly infinite because there is a limit, but to the human brain, it is an infinite amount of timelines happening simultaneously. So you're living out your life simultaneously in all of these different timelines at once. So your higher self holds a wide enough perspective that it can perceive of you living out all of these different potentials, all of these different life potentials at the same time. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Confession, I actually saw that on The Office from the fake Michael. I've actually never seen the Curb Your Enthusiasm, so moving on. So how are these timelines created, right? Why is there so many? Why are they created? So essentially, anytime that you desire something, a new timeline is created. That's why they say that once you desire something, it already exists. Because from the perspective of your higher self, it does already exist. As soon as you desire something, your higher self has already created an entire lifeline of you living that desire. Because here on planet Earth, there's a buffer, there's space, and there's time, and there's matter. It's very dense, so things take time to materialize for the most part on planet Earth. From your higher self perspective, this is not the case, so manifestations are always instant. So as soon as you desire something, it exists from the perspective of your higher self. The other way that you can create timelines is by making choices. So if you're going to college and you are trying to decide between becoming an accountant or a doctor, and you choose accountant, you may think that you are only living the life path of being an accountant. But actually, from the perspective of your higher self, you are living both life paths of being an accountant and being a doctor, because your higher self wants to see all the possibilities of your life based on different choices. So every choice point that you make in your life, no matter what choice you are choosing, both life paths are created and played out from the perspective of your higher self. So what are we doing in the multiverse when we do a process like this? So essentially, you are existing, we'll say this is your dominant timeline that you're experiencing. It's getting kind of thick here. You're existing on this timeline, right? So what we're gonna do is we're going to create, here's the point where we are on the timeline. We're going to create an energetic momentum that is going to lead to an intersecting timeline that is merging your energy with the timeline that you desire to be on. We're gonna take a little intersection, a little oopsies, whoop, we're on this timeline now. That's what we're gonna be doing with this process. So let's get into it. So now let's get into what you practically need to do so that you can shift into your desired reality. So let's start with phase one. Phase one is going to be conscious creation. We are going to consciously create our desired timeline. Ooh, oh dear Lord, you need to see the board. Oh. Phase one, we are going to consciously create our desired timeline so that we are not just willy-nilly shifting around into whatever timeline's there. What do we need to do in phase one? First, we are going to accept our current circumstances, okay? Accept your current circumstances. Here's the thing about resistance, okay? So if you're living a life that you don't want to live and you have a lot of resistance to what's happening to you, that resistance is pretty powerful energy that's going to keep you stuck in your current timeline. So if we do all the rest of these steps and you still have resistance to your current situation, it's not gonna work. So the first thing that we wanna do is make sure that you are releasing all of your resistance to your current situation and your current circumstances. So here's how we do that. I want you to get a journal or a notebook and write down half a page to a page of some of the thoughts that you're thinking about your current situation, the feelings that your current situation is making you feel, and the core beliefs that are related to your current situation. So for example, if you're working in a job that you don't like, you would write something like, I hate going to work every day. My work is unfulfilling. My coworkers don't respect me. I don't make enough money. Those are some of the stories that your mind is telling you about this current situation. Next, you want to write down, how is it making you feel? Perhaps it's making you feel powerless, defeated, hopeless, things like that. And then you want to also write a couple of the core beliefs that are coming up because of this circumstance. Core beliefs could be things like, I'm not worthy, I can't get what I want, things don't work out for me, things like that. So you want to get this all on paper so that we can identify where we are, and then I want you to close your eyes and I want you to visualize yourself allowing this situation into your body, really allowing it into your heart space, and accepting that this is what's happening. And I want you to say to yourself, I choose this situation. Please show me the lessons in this situation. I know that this is happening in my favor. I know this is happening in my highest good. So please show me how this situation is benefiting me as I am choosing this situation. I'm saying yes to this situation. So you essentially want to close your eyes, allow the situation to come into you, and you want to say yes to it. Because when we allow something, and we do this process, we can allow the negative situation to come. Yes, it does not mean that we like it. It does not mean that it feels good. We don't have to actually be super happy and excited that it's happening. But when we allow it to come in, it flows in, and then it flows out. If you resist it, it flows in, it's stuck, it stays in, and then it can't flow out, and you can't shift out of it. So that's why it's so important to do this quick little process to release resistance. So once you have finished this first step, let's move into the second step. So the second step is going to be to consciously create your new reality. So here again, I want you to get out a journal, and this time I want you to script half a page to a page of you a day in the life being the person who already is living in your desired reality. So for example, if you were trying to shift into a different career, you'd be writing, I am so fulfilled in my career. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm living the career of my dreams. I'm so excited to go to work. I'm treated with respect at work. I make so much money. I'm so abundant. Things like that. So you're basically writing half a page to a page of how you would feel, what you would be thinking, the story you'd be telling yourself if you were already the person living in your desired reality. So once you have finished scripting this, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to do a quick 3 to 5 minute visualization of yourself as the person already living in your desired reality. So create a little mind movie, if you can, of yourself in that desired reality, living in that dream job, living in that dream city, and just play this out for 3 to 5 minutes. And now once that timer goes off, we are going to do the esoteric part of this exercise, which is going to be to move our energy from timeline A, your current timeline, to timeline B, your desired timeline. I want you to keep your eyes closed. You've just finished doing the visualization. And I want you to consciously perceive in your mind's eye the energetic frequency, the current timeline that you're on, how this feels in space and time. And then I want you to perceive your desired timeline. And where is it in space? When I've done this before, I've noticed that the desired timeline is above my current timeline. So I want you to perceive, where is the desired timeline in space? And if you can't tell, if you don't know, you can just say that it's going to be above your current timeline. I want you to focus on taking your energy, become really mindful here for a second, and shift it into your desired timeline. Focus on all of your energy moving from your timeline up into your desired timeline. And for a couple of seconds, just hold your energy in this desired timeline. There we have it. You've created the intersection. So when you are visualizing yourself moved up into this new timeline, after a couple of seconds of visualizing yourself, your energy in this new timeline, I want you to say an intention prayer that you are consciously choosing with your free will to move your energy into this new timeline. So you can say whatever you want for this prayer, but I'm going to give you an example of what I say so that you can use that as a template. So it takes a lot of energy to shift into a new timeline, right? This is a really large manifestation, a really large life change that we are creating. So when I say this intention, I like to call in the help of basically anybody on my side, my spirit guides, my higher self, my ancestors, who would like to lend their energy to this manifestation. Here is what I say. Universe, higher self, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, I ask for your guidance and assistance to help me shift into this new upgraded high vibrational timeline and this new upgraded high vibrational version of myself. I choose with my free will to shift into this new upgraded high vibrational timeline and this new upgraded high vibrational version of myself now. May it be created for the highest good of all. So you can either use that same intention if you'd like, or you can create your own. So congratulations, you have finished phase 1 of this process and you are now ready for phase 2. At this point in time, you have already created your new timeline and you are already existing in the quantum field, living on this new timeline. So even if you did nothing else, there would still be an aspect of your energy living out this new timeline as perceived by your higher self. Pretty cool. But we are actually going to keep going into phase 2 of this process because we want to ground our new timeline into our current time-space reality. Phase 2, reprogram your subconscious mind for 21 days. That means that you're going to commit for 21 days to a daily routine that you can do once a day at least, twice a day if possible, without missing a day. Here's your routine. Basically, you already did it. So I want you to take out that page of the affirmations, the scripting that you wrote of yourself being already that person in the new timeline. You're going to read through that either out loud or in your head. Then you're going to close your eyes for 3 to 5 minutes. You're going to visualize yourself being this new person, already being in this new timeline. You're going to create a little mind movie that you're going to play every day in your head as yourself, already in this new timeline for 3 to 5 minutes. After that timer goes up, keep your eyes closed because now you're going to take your energy, perceive in space, where are you currently in your current timeline, move your energy up into the new timeline, and then say the intention prayer. So that's it. So you're gonna do that at least once a day, 2 times a day if possible, for 21 days. And you can definitely do this longer too. You wanna do it for at least 21 days because that's how long it takes for your subconscious mind to be imprinted. However, when I do this, I usually do it until I get an intuitive hit that it is embodied, and that usually takes me around 30-35 days. So it takes me a little bit longer, but as long as you do it for 21 days, you're good because you have created an imprint in your subconscious mind. And that means that your subconscious mind will begin to believe that this reality is your current reality, and it will begin to project that reality out into the time-space continuum around you. And then that is what you will start to perceive. Congratulations, you're basically almost done. All right, so now we're ready for the final phase of this. Final and the easiest phase of this process is phase 3, align with your higher self. Like I mentioned before, your higher self is already living this timeline, right? So what we need to do, we have created the timeline. We have imprinted our subconscious mind with it. Now all that we need to do is match our energy to the frequency of our higher self, and this timeline will manifest in our reality. All right, so how do we do this? Well, this is actually probably the simplest one. It's actually just meditation. So essentially, when you wake up in the morning, 20 minutes, I want you to meditate, focus on your breath, focus on a mantra for 20 minutes, and ground your energy into your body. When you feel that your energy is grounded and your thoughts are starting to fade away a little bit quicker, I want you to focus on opening a channel out through your head to your higher self, and I want you to just set the intention to align with the energy of your higher self. And just keep focusing on your breath or the mantra. I want you to do this every day when you wake up in the morning and every day before you go to bed at night. So that's phase 3. That's it. So essentially, you're going to keep doing this until you realize that you have shifted into your desired timeline. Now you guys are probably asking me, how do I know when I have shifted into my desired timeline? Well, let me tell you something. If you're asking if you have shifted into your desired timeline, if you're not sure, that means you have not shifted into your desired timeline. Because when you have shifted into your desired timeline, you will know that you have shifted because you will get an intuitive hit that will be telling you the exact thing that shifted you. Something's going to happen in your life. It could be a person coming into your life, an opportunity coming into your life. It could be something leaving your life. There's going to be a catalyst that's going to signal the start of the change and signal that you're in the new timeline reality. And you will get an intuitive hit that this is the thing. However, sometimes you can get the intuitive hit after the thing happens. That's what has happened to me in the past. A lot of times a thing will happen, things will start shaking up in my life, and I won't really know what's going on, and maybe a week or two later, I'll get an intuitive hit that will tell me that was the thing, and I'll know I'm in the new timeline. So I trust that each one of you will know when you have shifted into your desired timeline because your intuition will tell you. Let me just say that this could happen in ways that you don't expect. Things could be shifting that on the outside appear to be completely unrelated to what you desire, but when you look back, months or years later, you will realize that that was connected. However, if things are shifting and they appear to be completely unrelated to what you're desiring, don't worry. It's all working out in the perfect divine order of the universe. As I'm sure you guys have heard before, the universe has a larger bird's eye view on the world than we do down here in our human perspective. And so the universe knows what pieces it needs to move you to your desire. So you can trust that whatever crazy shakeups that are happening, societal level, the level of your personal life, the level of your community, that those are all happening so that you can get to your desire, even if they appear completely unrelated at first. So there you have it. That's how you shift into the timeline of your desired reality. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Definitely click the like button below if you found this content helpful. I know I went through a lot of things today, so if you have any questions, please comment below with your question and I will respond to those. And definitely subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Thank you guys again for watching. Let's take a quick moment to set an intention here that everybody who watches this video and does the process will align with their desired reality. And so it is. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye!